Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to not a Les Paul update. This is, I thought I'd do another project while I'm doing the Les Paul in tandem. The Les Paul is going to take time. I haven't got a drill press, so I'm going to have to sort of scavenge a drill press or use of a drill press from somebody to do the Les Paul. But while I'm doing the Les Paul, a friend of mine has contacted me and said, Andy, can you build me a guitar for my birthday? My wife is going to buy me a guitar. Don't want a lot, you know, he doesn't want like a really expensive thing. He said, I just want a guitar to muck about with at home and to hang on the wall and it looks nice. So I said, okay, well, I might be able to help you there because, one second. I said, I might be able to help you there because I've actually got a project guitar here that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace for literally about £15–20. And I said I was going to do it up and sell it on anyway. And he said, well, what is it? And I said, it's a Fender, it's a Squire Infinity Stratocaster. And it was in candy apple red. And he said, yeah, that'll do. But can you improve on it? Because, you know, they're not that brilliant. The hardware wise, they're not that good. So I said, of course, we can come to an agreement. And he basically gave me a budget. So as soon as he gave me that budget, I blew half of it in about 4 hours. And anyway, so I thought it would be good and interesting to cover this modification of this Stratocaster as well. That way my mate Gary can see it taking shape and see what I'm doing, and it might also make for good content for this channel, because I wasn't intending to turn this into a guitar building channel. It was intending to just be a one-off of the Les Paul build, but I thought, you know what, why not do another guitar in tandem to the Les Paul. So here is the donor guitar. I've already started sanding the body down. Originally Gary wanted this in a sunburst, and I said, okay, I'll sand all the paint off this polyurethane. I said I'll sand it all off and we'll see what we've got, because sometimes these bodies are good, sometimes they're not. If they've got marks on them, they'll put a solid cover on, a colour on them. If they're not so good, they'll make, if they are good, they'll use them as a burst or something like that. Well, I started sanding this down and it's got this mark down here by the jack plug, can't see it, by the jack plug socket in the grain of the wood. You can just see that there, that dark line. And I said, well, that's going to show up on a sunburst. It might not look very nice. So he changed his mind. He said, okay, I'll have it, well, let's think of a colour. And I suggested Lake Placid blue, which is nice. I mean, this has got some blue in it anyway. I think that was probably the sealer coat, maybe. But Lake Placid blue. And I said, well, this blue in it is like, almost like Lake Placid blue. So that'll give you an idea of what it'll look like. And this has got a wide headstock, the CBS headstock. And he said, well, let's go the Hendrix route. And I said, okay, Olympic white. So he's agreed on Olympic white. And with that in mind, we're going to turn this into a homage to Jimi Hendrix, sort of. So I'm not going to sand any more of this body. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to sand it to about 300 grit now. I'm not going to go any further with this. There's no point. I might as well use this as a base coat for the paint. This is polyurethane. It does take nitrocellulose really well. So what I will do is I'll have to put some sealer coat on this side because I've gone down to the wood in places. So I will put some sealer coat on it first, rub that down a bit, put a few coats of that on there, and then I'll be good to go with the colour. I'll put a primer on there first. I'll put some, what I'll probably do is I'll put some coloured primer on there. I'll normally use white primer, but as I'm using Olympic white as a top coat, I want to be able to see the primer coat, so I can see what my coverage is. So I'll probably use a coloured coat, a primer coat of grey or something like that. But yeah, so this is the donor guitar. It is unabashedly a Squire Infinity by Fender. We're going to be leaving the neck plate on. We're not changing that. We are going to be putting a Fender decal on the headstock. That's already history. Anyone that knows Fenders knows that that is a Squire truss rod access hole. So it is not going to be masquerading totally as a Fender. We have started buying some of the bits in for this build, this guitar. I'm starting off by using a Wilkinson bridge, replacement bridge. Now, what I will say, these Infinities, if you're going to change the bridge on your Infinity Strat, you need to get one with a short tremolo block, because these are a few millimeters thinner than a standard Strat. Okay, so if you get a standard Strat tremolo and put it on this, the block will stick out about 4 or 5 millimeters. Okay, so you've really got to be careful. I've got a Wilkinson, which is really, really nice. I like Wilkinson stuff. This is brand new, obviously, in the box, and that's going to be sitting right in there. It's going to be sitting in there. Now, what I have noticed on this are the holes don't really line up. No, the holes don't line up. They are slightly on the whack with each other, these 6 tremolo holes, so I might get away with 1 or 2 of the ones, the centre ones, but a lot of these holes I'm going to have to plug, glue and plug and re-drill. I might have to shave a little bit off this tremolo block, cut out as well. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so there's that. I have a decent replacement 3-ply pickguard and a 3-ply, these are parchment 3-ply trem cover. Seen, this is going to have all CTS pots. So I've got decent CTS pots, American made CTS pots, a proper orange drop capacitor. What's the 223 kilo K ohms, and these are 250k. Each one's 250k. I've got some decent cloth covered hookup wire for the harness. I've got a decent Oak Grigsby trem switch. That's a decent one, as used in proper American Fenders. A decent Oak Grigsby. I'm going to probably replace the jack plate, but I'm going to keep the knobs because the knobs have gone green. They've got a lovely patina on them. And the fun starts here. Shout out to Crocs Guitars below. Here is the replacement decal that is going on the headstock. That is a late 60s CBS decal. I won't take it out of the paper because we obviously want to protect that until we're due to put it on the guitar. I'm trying to decide whether to put the decal on top of the clear coat lacquer or put the decal under the lacquer. I don't really know at this stage what I'm going to do. So yeah, so that's the other project. Oh, and I've also got some replacement roller string trees here. Yeah, a couple of string trees. That's about it really. Everything else, I think I'm going to keep the tuners. I don't think the tuners could be improved. I mean, they are Squire tuners, they're probably made in China, but they're functional and they work, and unless Gary says, can you replace the tuners, I think we'll just leave the tuners as they are. What else are we going to do? Oh, the one thing that I may have to do, and we'll see when I start polishing them, the frets are really tarnished on this. I don't know if you can see that. Down by the headstock, the frets are really tarnished. It hasn't been played for God knows how long. I'm hoping that I'll be able to polish that out with a fretboard rubber. I don't really want to do a refret job on this if I can help it. I'd like to keep it as it is. I don't think it's been played that much. Looking at it, there's not much wear on the frets. They just have discoloured. So I'm hoping that a fret dress and a rub down with the fret rubber will do the trick. One thing I have got to do is to continue rubbing down this headstock, because the old Squire decal, you can still see ghosting on there from the decal. I want to get rid of that. And I'm going to paint the neck. I'm going to rub the neck down as well. And I'm going to spray the neck in vintage amber headstock as well. So you're going to have vintage amber neck, Olympic white body, and we'll take it from there. I've already started marking it out down here for the trim. I'm just going to fill these. I've been waiting for some dowels to be delivered. They arrived the other day, so I'm going to drill and fill these holes in with, I think, 6mm dowels or 5mm dowels, depending on what ones I've got. And then I'll start marking them out for the new holes, and then I'll drill the new holes. These holes I should be able to do with a hand drill if I'm very careful. Hopefully I can do them with a hand drill. I don't really want to use a drill press because I haven't got access to one. I need to get access to a drill press. I really should try and buy one if I can, because the more guitars I work on, because I've already started thinking about my next project after the Les Paul build is finished. I want to build another one. But I'm thinking about doing the Les Paul Gold Top, the Gilmore Gold Top. I don't know yet. I'm a bit torn, or you know, I don't know. But I'm really in the mode of guitar building at the moment, or building kits, which is good fun. And yeah, so there we go. I've got a Les Paul build on the go, and I've also now got a Stratocaster build on the go. So come back often, and hopefully the next Les Paul video will be up soon. As soon as I've secured access to a drill press, I shall upload another video, because the next job on the Les Paul is to mark the 2 extra switches, drill them through, and also to route out the rear control access for the switches, which I'm going to have to extend to the original control cavity. So I need I've got a router for that. I can do that, but I'm going to have to make myself a template to do that routing. So that's all going to be good fun. And in tandem, I'm going to be doing the Stratocaster. So come back, guys, and join me in my next video. Cheers. Bye bye.